be in this emotion and to just be here present and allowing and giving permission to feel excited is something that I've never allowed. I've never gave myself as much as I see and feel, but I've never allowed, if that makes sense, because I always had this dread feeling that something, you know, would go wrong or bad, or, and it's obviously it's a negative thing, but it's just like, yeah, I can really like experience it now, you know, like I can really acknowledge it now. So that's my word for the day. And I also, yes, this morning, I'm just like the fact that, you know, I came into my heart and I allowed myself to know what was coming up for me. And I'll just share that, you know, my father came up this morning for me, and it was so beautiful because it wasn't many things. It was just like, I just said, I knew that you loved me. I know you love me. I know you love me. I kept on saying that. And I had him very, very strongly in my presence. And it was like, wow. It was wow. It was just very wow. And I think it's because of what I'm also experiencing here in the group with masculine men that are in their hearts, and it gives me to drop into my heart even more, so that I can show my gentleness and softness, and I can come into my essence of being who I am, who I choose to be, you know. So like, yeah. And I really love that. I got to tell you, that's something I'm very thankful for. Mm. And I think that's also another reflection of that, because it started with my first love, and my first love was my father, my dad, you know. Yeah. So I really feel that it's come to a full circle for me, that I can get excited about it. Mm. So that's what came up for me this morning, but also from yesterday's session and conversation. And yeah, I was just like, wow, you know, wow, just it's amazing, just so amazing. So I want to say thank you for that, because I get to experience it now in this reality, not in you know. Yeah. So thank you. So that's come up for me. If anyone wants to share, they're welcome.
Thanks, Nikki.
Thank you.
I listened to a practice of finding, settling, acknowledging, and allowing.
Yeah.
Truth.
Yeah.
It's like that's now.
Yeah.
I was, before coming on, it was like it's a question. So I just noticing the questions. So ask the question and pause. So the question this morning was, why did I choose to experience this? And then I just looked in the silence. I explored, became curious, which meant I would plug in answers. Answers that could be. And then as I plugged them in, I would see what the feelings would do. Always looking for a feeling that felt like it released and flowed. Because I knew in the truth of the moment, I couldn't release love like I did yesterday. And I found one. I was like, oh, that's interesting. That one worked. But it wasn't what it was a future situation. It was way out in the future. I was like, oh, that's cool. Allowed it to flow. I put no meaning to it other than just to acknowledge, that's good. That's something. That's better. It's something, not good or bad. It's just something. And just saying that, did I release just a little more? So now you're caught up.
Thank you for that. I think it's a beautiful question to ask, like, why did I choose to experience this? So at the end of the day, it's all choices. Because a lot of time we're like, I never thought about that, That's not for me to experience that. No, I'm a good person. So it's good to have, some answer. If we allow it, because maybe the truth will be painful.
Or on the surface, I wouldn't want to go there. Where I need to go.
Yeah.
I don't know.
So I'll share a quote that I found that it's related to my word today. My word today is treasure. And it goes like this. Heed these words, you who wish to probe the depth of nature. If you do not find within yourself that which you seek, neither you will find it outside. If you ignore the wonder of your own house, how do you expect to find other wonders? In you is hidden the treasure of the treasures. Know thyself, and you will find the universe of the gods.
Love it. Absolutely
Thank
love
you.
that. Thank you. That's wow.
Mhm.
And there was an answer.
Yeah.
Meaning that could be my answer. It lightened 3 degrees.
It's just so interesting to me that how much I've been misled my entire life to look outside of myself for this stuff I wanted. Distraction around me. But if I would have just take a breather and look inside to the treasures that would unfold, I would feel free. It's just, yeah, it's mind blowing.
Yeah. You know, what comes up for me is when you say that is that I ask the question, well, what is stopping me from knowing thyself? Mm.
As if there was no divine intention behind all of it.
Hmm.
Mm. Mm.
And what came up for you, Nikki, if you want to share?
What came up for me when you said when you read the quote?
Or
Yeah.
when you said, like, you asked the question.
Yeah, I asked the question, yeah, what is stopping me, or just in general, what is stopping me to know thyself? Or what is stopping for someone to know themselves? Because it's all our perception of what we perceived and what we made up in our own understanding to deal with pain, because pain is what it is. And that pain that now we can turn it into a message of allowing us to say it was necessary, it was essential, because otherwise how would we know? It's polarity. How would we know if it's happy to be sad? It's and that is all what I'm talking about, the emotions. And to know that when you say treasure, I love that, because I have a treasure box. Physically, I have a treasure box. And no, I do. And when I thought that, at that time, it was very big word for me, treasure. And when I started to see myself as a treasure, I have what I can go within and be able to shine in the way that I would like to shine, for myself. It wasn't for others yet. It was more for me. I can see myself as a treasure, that I'm not a mistake, and that kind of thing.
You know where my eye is?
And that's, oh, hang on, just give me a second.
A treasure that was sent.
Yeah, it's interesting because treasure, it used to be like a word that really triggered me, that I didn't relate to. So it's nice to know now that I can say treasure, and there's no like emotion that comes up that like, oh no, that's not you, you know, or that self-talk.
Hmm.
So I believe is because I allow myself to love myself more, then these words don't trigger me anymore.
The treasure of unconditional love.
Hmm.
Without conditions, unconditional, uncircumstantial,
Hmm.
uncriterion, no standard, without doubt.
Totally free.
Serving unconditionally love. Serving unconditional love. And so the little voice in my head says, oh, there it is. So that's my word for the day, unconditional love. Phew. That's a lot of learning in that one. I don't know it well. And yet I do.
A lot more to learn.
Hmm?
A lot more to learn.
Mhm.
Yeah, yeah, pure gold. When you look at pure gold, there's no blemishes. It's just pure. It's just solid, you know. It's unique. And that's how I see, you know, when I the word that of treasure to me, that's what it is for me. And it is something where it was spoken into my life with by my nephew with, you know, in Australia. And he always ended off like saying the treasure box, you know, or you're a treasure or something like this. And this is years ago. When I talk about years ago, maybe 10, 15, I don't know how many years ago. And it just gripped me. That word just gripped me. And I went, wow, is it possible? Could I be a treasure? Because at that time it was still like, I was still like allowing myself to be filled up with that word, you know, because it was not familiar. I couldn't, I was still like, wow, I got sort of, wow, excited about it in a way, but I didn't think, oh no, okay, it's nice. Yeah. But now when you say treasure, uh, this is how I see life. It's a treasure box, you know.
You're the treasure, Nikki.
Oh, he's so good. So sweet. Thank you. Yeah, I mean, the treasure comes where this morning also, you know, as I had this encounter, I remember very distinctly my dad was in hospital and it was coming to an end, but he died at home. But in the hospital when he was diagnosed, and he was asking, how come Nikki's not coming? Like, where's Nikki? And the reason because my sister was there from Australia and everybody was, it was just too much, you know. It was, and I just felt it was just too much for me, you know, it was just too much people around him. But then I came, I took a day off my work and I came to him, and it was just him and I, and that's what I wanted. I wanted him and I. So like, I wanted his full attention. And it could have been very selfish of me because I asked him, do you love me? And just tell me one thing, you know, I need to know this. And I'm like 30, I'm 34 at this time, right? I'm not a baby, I'm not a child, I'm not a teenager, I'm a grown woman, you know. And I felt like this little girl coming up to him and saying, do you love me? Like, love me for me. And I cried this morning for that reason, is because I got my answer.
Mm.
And that has literally my whole life, I have been missing that. And when you said the other day, missing, there's a missing, it's sort of like, it hit home a little bit for me, yeah. And that's what I love about giving space, because sometimes you got to let that person understand something before they can actually feel it, you know, because it's so deep that it's like as we talk about the treasure and diamonds, and it's deep, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And so I unraveled that, because this is where I like to know and think that I can ask the questions now, because the questions are very important. Like, who am I? Who am I? Yeah. Who am I to do this? Who am I to be here standing on the shoulders of giants? Yeah. Who am I to be able to, you know, just be and create and love and be in my heart and know that, wow, you know. And that what came to me this morning, and the love for me, that I went on a journey of self-love for myself, that I could open the treasure box and say, show me who I am. That if I could be of any service to anybody or anyone, but allowing me to see me first, you know. And so when I asked that question this morning, it was such the obvious, and yeah, it was just, I also get to experience it, yeah, today, this morning. So yeah, that's it.
Could it
I'm
be
very-
that you are
Hmm?
one of those giants?
What's that?
Could it be that you are one of those giants?
Well, it's a good question, but
Could it be?
it could be, but that to me, it's like still very in the distance. I'm still on that path. I just like to.
I want to invite you to keep asking that question.
Mm,
Could it be?
yeah, well, yeah, it's interesting, huh? It goes back to having 4 sisters, I guess. And my dad likes to come to his work. I used to love that, just to surprise him. And he would tell everybody she's number 4 out of the 5. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
And I didn't take any note of that because I just thought that that's how he sees us, you know, as number 4, 3, 2, 1, or whatever, from age difference, you know. But you know, yeah. But when I said this morning how I felt about the "Do you love me?", I saw him seeing me as number 1. So yeah, I guess it's a part of a beginning.
Could you go back before that? Before this life? Before your essence showed up in this particular body at this particular time? Who is that person? Who is that soul?
You know, Craig, you remember there's that word that says, "I knew you before you were in your mother's womb. I knew you.
Yes.
I knew you.
Yes.
I created you,
Yes.
whole and complete, and I knew you. I knew you,
Mhm.
right?"
Yes.
And that came up this morning for me. And then I also asked the question, then what is my name? Like, what is my name? I know my name's Nicola. I know people call me Nikki, but what is my spiritual name? Like, what is the name that you've named me? And it's so funny, not funny. I'm not even surprised because I know what happened. I know this is divine connection now. So I'm very like right now I'm seriously like vibrating because my heart is like pounding, and it's like I'm very like I know this is very vulnerable for me. I'm getting into a very vulnerable place because I can feel it because I'm very like don't want to like get emotional because it's like when people ask when you ask these questions, it's like when you've never been able to ask the questions or never had anyone to tell you or never been able to tell somebody.
Hmm.
It's like they're like, yeah. Because I think
You're
this is
the
it's gonna
treasure.
change.
You're the treasure. You're the treasure that was sent here for now. Chosen. Chosen one.
There's so many things are happening right now. It's like I feel a lot of releasing happening. I feel a lot of shifting happening right now in my body. It's like it's quite remarkable, and it's like been so long in the making to get to here, to get to this place, to finally say it's okay. It's everything's gonna be okay. It's okay. Because that's what it is. Just want to be okay. Just want to be okay. I just want to be okay. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
What makes you believe that you're not okay right now?
What's that, Pascal?
What makes you believe that you're not okay?
Yeah, it's just, I guess it's just, as much as I can, I always like wanted to know that he loved me because I tried everything to do what was right. And I also did some things that were wrong. And he reminded me of my wrongs. My dad was very, very strict in that way. But then I also realized that when I really realized that he always was, as I don't even know how to say it. In my heart, I always just knew that if I needed him, he would be there. And that came up this morning. So I think the love for me is not so much people telling me they love me, but to really let me know that they're there for me. in the good times, bad times, ugly times. And when this give me grace, just give me space to figure it out also, you know, just help me. Don't criticize and judge me. Wicked, just I you know.
Demonstrating love.
Yeah, just demonstrate it to me, you know.
Mm.
I don't know how.
And that, yeah, I think that's where my dad also, he really did know, but he didn't know. It's the
Mhm.
weirdest thing, because he was his best in providing as much as he could. You know, yeah. I knew if anyone had stopped, like I just knew that he was there. So that was to me enough for me, you know. But to get approval of his love for me was very it wasn't easy. And it's just a thing where you can unfold, and you can, like, this is where you realize unconsciously there's things in patterns that you do. And I understand now my sabotage patterns. I understand the dysfunctional patterns that I created and I continued, and now I can see it very clear. And I go, oh God, thank you that I can see it now, that I cannot continue in that, because that's just what it is. It's just a pattern unconsciously that, you know, that of me being incomplete, because your whole life you thought you were incomplete, that you had to, you know, be everything for everyone all the time. And it was exhausting. And now that I get to just like go, yeah. Huh. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't believe we don't know how to demonstrating love. I think we just don't remember how to do it.
Yeah.
And I think I'm gonna
yeah.
ask my wife
Yeah.
today. I'm gonna say, when is the time that you felt love by me
Mm.
by demonstrating it to you?
Yeah. And that's the thing. There's different kinds of love. When you talk about there's five. There's the act of service, when you're doing something and that person feels the love for that. And then there's the love of words of affirmation. So you can be all on the act of service, but then if you're not giving words of affirmation, they don't feel love. Then there's the gift, the love of gifts. The gifts. If you can love them, you can serve them, you can give them words of affirmation. But if you don't give them the gift, you know what I'm saying? Then they don't feel loved. And then there's the love of physical touch, when you can give them the gifts, you can give them the love, you can give them word of affirmation. But then if you're not physically touching and not hugging and not, you know what I mean? You know, that lovey-dovey kissing and all that physical touch, they don't feel loved, right? It's crazy. And yeah, you think you're doing everything, but this is a person that only feels words of affirmation. And when you give them words of affirmation, then they feel loved. Yeah.
Hmm.
So it doesn't matter if you clean house, if you do the groceries, if you work, if you do everything, if you're not giving their love for what serves them, that's not love for them. And yeah, you think this is you pouring out everything because, yeah, how much more can you do? But it's not their love language. You know? And so,
Oh yeah,
yeah,
that love languages.
that
Yeah,
love language.
I read that
It's
book.
yeah. Joseph Campbell, it's love languages. And so when you and that's the thing, yeah, I'm just saying. That's what further with that, but that's what it is. See, my
Do you
love
think your
language is
Do you think your love languages can change?
yeah, absolute. I mean, absolutely it can change. Yeah, for sure. But I know for myself, my love language is act of service.
Mm.
When somebody's doing something and is for me, doing something for me, just because, then I know, it's an act of service. That's my love language.
And do you think it changed with your level of consciousness?
No, this has been my number one love language, act of service. Yeah.
Yeah, too bad
Yeah,
it's
yeah.
old structure.
Mm.
Yeah, hear that.
All that stuff is old
Ah,
structure.
yeah. It can be for a little bit. Just a little bit of a help on the way. I'll take all the help I can get, right? I'm not gonna reject anything. I'm really gonna just whatever can add on, just a little, even if it's 1%, right? Even if it's 1%, I'm gonna take it, I mean, I'm not asking for miracles and unicorn kinds of things, but I do like the help. And for me that's big, to ask for help, but also to receive help. That's very big for me, because being and growing up being very independent and literally like being yeah, yeah. I wouldn't want to say I was raised like a boy, but I was raised like, you don't cry, you do your work, you show up, you bring the money home, pay your rent, that kind of thing. There was responsibilities, a lot of responsibilities. And I'm talking from the age of 16 already, when I started working my first job. It was like, yeah, you got to pay now, you got to pay your rent to stay here. Yeah, I mean, I had to pay board to live in my own home. Nothing for free. I learned that very young. And yeah. So
Is that true?
what is that true?
You said nothing for free.
What do you mean, what is true?
That you learned that nothing was free. Is that true?
At the time, growing up, yeah.
Yeah, but is
There
it
was
true?
nothing for free. No, it isn't. I know that now. But it's one thing knowing, and it's one thing really feeling it. You know what I mean? Like really letting that leave and not hinder and not hold you back. You follow? If that makes sense. I don't know if that makes sense. Because Pascal said a couple of weeks ago, he says gullible. I was gullible. I was like a pushover. I mean, believe it or not, I was. It was like, I was so gullible. I just trusted so much. And I was stamped over and literally like ripped my heart out of my chest, like, and stamped it. I felt broken. I gotta be honest. I felt very broken. And I actually thought I was broken once upon a time in my life. Yeah.
I'm feeling that heavy energy again.
I know. But it's a releasing. It's just letting me just release it, because I thought, who am I going to really be? if I'm honest with myself now, who can I really make? Because this is a safe space, and it's so vital importance to know who to share this with, because this is very like on another level, right? For me, it's outside experience. Like it's just like, and I think the vulnerability of me practicing that and getting comfortable with that, that I don't shut down, because it's going to come into my act of of what I'm choosing now for, and seeing it how I see it. Because I can't expect somebody to love me if I don't love myself. And I can't expect somebody to respect myself. And that takes a lifetime. Sometimes it takes forever. But when you get to a place where you can say that I'm not broken, and I know that I'm not, right? And I can know that who I am and what I am is a place of love. And maybe it doesn't demonstrate it because my actions have not always like, yeah, you know, but that's because it was so confusing. Because love to me, it was used and abused in the name of love. So I never really like felt like I could trust that. Yeah. Till I got to trust myself in this time of me going through the learning, and now I can say that it's just the trust that I can know that I'm not it's just the trust of what was, and that I'm not my mistakes, I'm not my failures, I'm not even my addictions, I'm not what it's just this trust that I can just say, yeah, it's a starting new point of my life that I can start again. But to have and be in this body and witness it is it's revelational. It's like it's like I can give this to me now.
Are you done for now?
It's so good that you say that, because yeah, I'm done. Yeah, thank you, Craig. It's so cute because
there was a
it's
lot
so
of
cute.
bullshit in that.
There was such a lot of bullshit. You could say that again. It's just such a lot of bullshit. Yeah.
Yeah, it always amazes me,
Isn't it?
that
It's
we nudge up to the truth. We nudge up to the truth.
Yeah.
And then we sidestep it, and then we absolutely avoid it.
Tell me more, Craig. Tell me more. I want to know more. Tell me more. Tell me more, Craig.
Well, the last 10 minutes were a
Jesus.
demonstration of that. Because we were touching on the truth.
Yeah.
That you are a treasure.
Yeah. And look at, oh my God. Yeah.
And everything you said in the last 10 minutes was an attempt to avoid that.
Oh, Jesus. Jesus. Why did we do that? Oh my God. Why did we do that? Why did we do that? Can you explain?
Because we identify with our experience in this particular life, in this physical reality. And, we identify with that, and we assume that it's us.
Oh,
and it's not.
God.
No part of it is us. Us is the part that was there before we were ever here.
Wow, that's it.
Yeah. Us is the treasure that was sent here.
Oh, there's it.
To have this experience.
Wow, it's so good.
Yeah, and it's really difficult. It's really difficult, especially when you've experienced a lot of stuff.
Yeah.
To remember your essence, to remember who you really are, to remember who you've always been.
Mm. Yeah, that's it. Eh? I love that. Here.
You know, and that essence of you is your true nature and purpose.
That's so true.
It's gotten lost in the shuffle. And that's common for every single person on the planet.
So I'll share what I read this morning concerning this. We are spiritual beings having a human experience. This
Correct.
means that our true nature goes beyond our physical body and the limits of the material world. By connecting with our spiritually, we can get better. We can, beg your pardon, we can better ourselves, our purpose, and navigate our lives with the wisdom and grace. Right?
Well, we can't.
Because it is
We can't
grace. It's wisdom
better
and
ourselves
grace.
because ourselves are already the best it can be.
See, that's it. That's it.
Yeah, but another
that's
tangent
it.
that's not true.
What's not true, Tommy? What?
How can you better something that's already complete?
Exactly. You see, this is the exciting
See,
part
that's
that I'm
total
getting
bullshit.
to. I know. That's why I'm getting so excited. That's what
Your
I
essence,
couldn't.
your
I
essence
couldn't.
is spiritual.
Yes, and
Okay.
this is yes, like yes.
But it's not betterment. It's learning. It's growth.
Yes, yes, it's good.
Growth is not betterment.
Yes, 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 yes. And growth is essential. It's a necessary.
Well,
right?
growth and learning are part of the continuum. It's just that's the way it is. Everything starts small and gets bigger.
Right. It's
Everything.
amazing. It's wonderful. It's exciting. I am excited about it. I'm like, I have like mixed, obviously mixed feelings with, it's just a feeling, but it's still like the possibilities now. It's coming to intuition. Like it's just, you can experience it. You can't touch it yet, but you can experience it. Yeah. Do you understand? Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah. Experience and learning and growth are just expansion.
Yes, it's expansion. So you are almost expanding your consciousness. It's just coming to another level of consciousness, right? It's just,
Yes.
because we are consciousness observing our reality, right? So it's like, it's just, that's what it is. And that's what makes it also quite scary, because you go, wow, damn. Right?
Yeah, because all expansion moves into the unknown.
Oh, there you go. Now you're dropping it. Now you're dropping gold nuggets. There's it. Yeah. Yeah, it's it.
That's the scary part of creativity,
Right.
because all creativity happens in the unknown.
Yes. Oh, yes. The unknown. The not knowing. Yeah.
And there's this huge invitation that the cosmos gives us to create something in the unknown.
Oh, so good.
That's the juicy invitation.
Mm. Yeah, that's it, huh? Yeah.
Yeah, everything
It's,
got created in the mind first.
Right.
And where our
We
thoughts
have
come
that
from.
very same capability. Well, most of them don't come from our essence.
ooh,
Comes from our
ooh.
belief system.
Yeah, it comes from our conditioning. Which is why you got to spend 10 minutes spewing your bullshit.
Oh, that is so true. Oh my gosh. But I also think it's important to express, because there's a there's a client of mine, she's she's an author, she's actually like amazing, and she's written books and everything. I'm just giving an example about her sexual abuse, and her family didn't ever acknowledge it, and also was part of it. And then she said, Nikki, it was something so profound that came up where she just wanted to be heard. You know, she just wanted to be heard. And then somebody of, not so much in the family line, but somebody that was very important to her, acknowledged it. And when they acknowledged it, she broke down in tears. And she said, and that's something where I feel that as a human, because we're still human, right? We got to relate to each other's pain as what it is. And we can't deny it, you know, because we want somebody just to get over it. And that is important. So, you know, knowing who you are and knowing that we can look at ourselves now, but it is a process. And if you can allow that to just release and let go of that, this is when you can come into your truth, because that was something that really did happen, and you can't deny it, and was denied, and it actually affected her physically, yeah, physically in her body. And so now that finally she can let that go and she could be heard, it was something that is shifted, and now it's out. Because what you do not expose, you cannot acknowledge. What, yeah. And so many of us, including me, we hide that, we keep it secret, because secrets are number one killers. In my family, there were secrets. We weren't allowed to speak. And this is the truth. There were secrets. And secrets kills you inside. Because you can have that secret and then have to act and pretend that nothing's happened. Like, it's all fine. Everything's just fine. Put a smile on your face. Yeah? No. But inside, and that's where a lot of people walking today on the outside, as Pascal says, being fake, because inside they're dying. And that's why you do not know what somebody else is going through till you give them the opportunity to share. And I think that's why sharing is so caring, because they don't see themselves. And that's why I feel in my own heart to share this was because Jesse sees me, Pascal sees me, Craig sees me, and sees me with no judgment, but sees me with also knowing that I didn't even see myself. And this is not about trying to get validation. This is one yes that you need. You know, that one yes. And for me, it's giving me inner strength because I don't need to hide anymore. I don't have to keep my secrets to myself anymore. Not that it's the secrets of, you know, but to just to, as I've always just wanted to be me. I just want to be me. I don't want to be anyone else. And I've said that for years. You know, I had to fight that identity of just want to be me. You know, see me for me, you know? And so I understand. And I understand because I understand my father and I understand his father and I understand his father's father. And that's what he that was passed down to him. He only knew that. He didn't know any other way. So that's all I'm bringing to this understanding that I can now say that there's no more needing to know that am I loved, because I am loved and I know that now. But I had to still go through a process, but I also needed to also give that to me. It wasn't coming, it's not coming from anyone else anymore. It's me. So even if you don't love me, it's okay because I love you for both of us. Yeah. So, and when you get to this place, you can really rejoice. It's like it's excitement. It's like going to a game and you're so excited to watch the game. You know, it's excitement. And you can be in the game, you can play in the game, you can participate in the game. You feel like, yeah, it doesn't matter if you win or lose. It's just a game. It's just a game. This is what it is. It's just a game. And I love this as I look at my life as a game now. It's not the winning or the losing. It's not if you love me or don't love me, because love was very important to me. But now I can say it's the journey. It's the adventure now. I go with people that I can feel to play the game with, because not everybody plays the same game. Not everybody has my values. Not everybody has my beliefs. And I can't expect anyone to follow that. But I also know that I can stand as a player and know that I have other players that want to play with me. And that's what I choose now. I choose that because I see potential. I can go further than I can ever possibly go, because we need each other. You can deny it or not. You do need each other. I don't want to do this alone. I've done it alone my whole life, trying to figure everything out. And now finally I can come and say thank you that I could keeping on, that I can be now in this place where I can say, yeah, bullshit or not bullshit, I have to see myself now, how I want to see myself. And that's why being here gave me that. I could see myself. Because when somebody asks you the question, sometimes you can't answer that question because you're not there. I can't give what I don't have. So it's just like, it's just wonderful to be able to ask questions, because I never wanted to ask questions because I didn't want to look like a fool or be stupid or called being like, and now I'm asking questions. This is big. Because how do you know if you don't ask questions? And I always thought to myself, why can't I just ask questions? Because I was punished every time I asked for a question. When I asked a question, just ask questions. Ask the question, why you do that? Why can't you say you're sorry? Why you do this all the time? Why does it have to be like this? And I was punished for it. So yeah, pick up the stone and throw it. But I can't, I'm not going to deny myself, because I am going to ask questions now, and I am going to just, yeah. And as that what you say, we are spirit, our birthright is love. I'm not fighting for the love anymore. It's very freeing. This is freeing for me. Finally, I can really be free. Because in every relationship, I saw the same pattern, huh? It came up all the time. So it's a pattern that we have to break. It's a cycle, a vicious cycle that we've got to break. And I found my bullshit. I found my dysfunction. I found my sabotage. And now I can say, wow, can it be like this? Is it possible? Yeah, it's possible. But as Pascal says, sometimes the truth hurts, eh? It freaking hurts. But that's also that you're breaking the chain. You're breaking that chain that I carried. No one else carried for me. I carried it. So yeah. Hmm. Said it quite a bit today.
Yeah, break the chain. That's the action. We can know everything about the chain, why we're tied up there, but if we don't take action, we're never going to be free. Break the chain. I like that. And when I'm hearing about you, Nikki, it's like you're not searching the love outside of yourself as much as before. You're looking at inside of you. That's why it's okay to, if people loves you or not, right? Like you said, it's just a game. It's not about you. And there's different way of loving someone. And it doesn't have to be the touch. Because I love all of you guys here. And I never touch you guys. Never. But I think for me, one of the biggest love you can give to someone else is deep listening. Listen the other person with your heart. Because what people love to do, they love talking about themselves. But most importantly, they love when person's listening when they're talking. So that's my way of demonstrating love for you guys.
Thank you, Pascal. Yeah.
I'd say when I'm working, I probably focus more on what you guys are saying than like what I'm doing actually.
Yeah. It's just so, it's just a beautiful, it's just beautiful. It's just beautiful to be, to witness, to be able to experience, to, you know,
Love, by
and
listening.
what's that, Craig? Didn't hear that.
Love,
You broke up.
love by listening.
Yeah. Isn't it?
I want to hear people's hearts speak.
Yes.
Mm.
Yeah, that would be just, that's beautiful. Yeah, absolutely. We didn't hear you, Jesse. I think you were muted. You said something. You muted. We didn't hear that. What was that?
So what do we label love? It's like a question for the world, right? For the recording, for the listeners. I think it's got so much baggage to it. It's just to listen, to be there. And yet we love to put all the conditions around it. The ways that it needs to look, the way Hollywood told us it could be. Because that's fucking real. And therefore we don't ever see it when it's there.
Yeah, because we have the wrong definition of love. But even if I ask you, all of you, like, what is love? Everybody would have like a different answer.
Mm-hmm.
Based on our experience or belief or
Yeah.
I have something that came up now that for me, love is doing right for a long time. Love is doing what is right for a long time, doing what is right for a long time. What is that? It's just allowing. Supporting, caring. Mm.
Love is a guide.
Oh yeah, love is a guide. Totally. But yeah. But they also say love is a verb, it's an action. So it's how you treat each other in love by your behavior. Learning to forgive quick.
For me, love is my essence.
Love is your essence. Oh, yes.
Without condition.
Yes.
Pure love.
Love is showing up as yourself with all your flaws.
Love is a warm puppy.
Yes. 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 Oh, that is love.
I don't know how many of you guys remember that, but that's
Oh, I do.
that's
Yeah.
a Charlie Brown cartoon.
Yeah, it's so cute. Yeah, so cute. I think love is, yes.
Love is
Mm.
everything and anything.
Love is letting go of the conditions.
Yes. You know, it's so beautiful because when you say that, when I found out God for myself, you know, you can call it higher source, universe, say whatever name you want to call it here on this platform, but I say God. And I came to realize that God is love, that's his nature. It's not what I do or what I don't do. That's his nature. He is love. And when I acknowledged that, it changed my behavior. Because love can change your behaviors. When you really love, it changes your behavior. It changes the way you think, the way you do things. Because you know it's its nature. He just loves you with no conditions. And that's the journey of self-love for me. That I didn't need to earn his love. I didn't need to pray. I didn't need to go now and go to church or do my tithes or, you know. No, it's his nature. He loves. So if he can forgive me, then why can't I not forgive others? When I've done wrong, and I do, then how can I not forgive others if he's forgiven me?
Do you realize that love is your nature, Nikki?
Yeah, absolutely. And I'm so excited about that, Craig. I'm so excited about that. I'm so excited I can verbalize this. I can speak it out. I can just, you know, I don't, yeah. Good. And likewise with you and Pascal and Jesse and everyone that listens to this replay. This is what's so beautiful. This is where I think we really coming back to remembering and knowing.
It's so much
Because-
more powerful when it's not third party.
Yes. What does this mean, third party?
When you refer to another person or another. Okay, so you say God is love. Okay, that's third party from your perspective.
No,
But
so God is
the truth is
God-
that I am love. My true nature
Absolutely.
is love. Exactly.
Absolutely.
That's first person. That makes a
Yeah.
huge difference.
But you are God divine in human form. You do know that, right? That's what we're talking about, being in spirit. We're
Well,
having
exactly.
we're having a spiritual human experience. We are not having a human experience. We're having a spiritual in this human vessel. And that's where we are waking up to knowing of where and how we can rise our consciousness, that we're not our body anymore. We're not even our thoughts. And this is a practice that we're coming into right here, right now.
So
when
why
you
is
get
it so hard? Why is it so hard to stay in that truth then?
Because it's just in our human nature to always question everything and try to analyze everything. And it cannot be, when you have it in a lifespan of knowing of all the experiences that you've had to earn and work and prove yourself your whole life. It's a it's a practice. It's a kind compassion, empathy of allowing you to receive that and giving it to yourself and saying, wow.
So is human nature different? Is it
No,
a different nature?
No, I didn't say it's a different nature. I'm
Yeah,
saying
you just
that
did. You just said human nature does this and this and this.
because we're in a human body still. We're still going to be in a human body. We're still here having a human experience. This is why it's so difficult. Because our unconsciousness is allowing us to say that we can have something, but then we choose not to have it. This is why choice comes into the matter. That's why we got to choose. And choose and keep choosing. And that's choosing love constantly, every single day. And that's why the lessons that we get to learn now is just a remembering of who we were and who we were before we came into this human vessel.
Could we explore that then?
Of course we are. We're doing it right now.
Instead of kicking around in the resistance?
Yeah, I understand that. But if we don't have that resistance, it's not going to give us any sort of real motive of doing something. I mean, in the end, we want to be able to have some sort of like contrast of saying, oh, okay, because if it was just easy and we got everything all the time, it wouldn't be real. It wouldn't be real. We're here for adventure.
Who says?
Oh, Craig, you're shouting. That's shouting. Then you're shouting it.
I'm sorry,
I
I
don't-
gotta put
'cause
my
I've
phone
got-
up to my mouth so you
Because my earphones are right by my ears. It's quite loud. We can have, as we say, you can have anything, but you can't have everything. You got to choose. And that's just what it boils down. You can fight it all you want, but you're just fighting with yourself then. And you don't have peace. And peace is my number one priority. I want peace. I choose peace. As much as I can, as much as I choose it. Yeah.
More resistance, Nikki.
Hmm? No, there's no resistance to that. No, there's no resistance to peace.
No, there's
no
resistance in your words.
What? Okay, then explain to me. I'd like to know
Just-
more. What
Just
you
stating we can't have everything. Who in the hell says? That's just resistance.
It's not a matter of not saying you can't have everything, but you can't go to a restaurant, as you say, and eat everything all at once. You're not going to yeah. Then it's not going to be so much. It's
Okay,
too,
so
it's like
why make the statement then?
I'm not making a statement. I'm saying for what it's worth. It comes down to choosing.
I'm just giving your words back to you, Nikki.
And I'm responding to what I'm sharing back to you too. It's just allowing to choose what you're choosing. It just comes down to a choice.
This session this morning is not a coaching session.
Yeah,
There's no intent to it.
yeah.
It's a place to share. It's a place to be vulnerable. It's a place to open. And yes, sometimes we do.
Mm-hmm.
And yes, we're going to have resistance in our words. Part of it is listening, allowing it. And so then if we can shift it for people by ourselves without them even having to know.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, there's a skill of knowing when to let it go
Yeah.
from a coach's perspective.
Mm.
From a human being perspective.
Here you go. And that comes resistance, their resistance, or both of our resistance.
Yeah, we have this tendency to try to save people.
Mm.
That's
We have a
one.
tendency to try to save ourselves.
Yeah.
I mean, what else is brain chatter?
So if we don't, then where's the most powerful place to be?
In creative
In-
space.
In your heart.
So how do you know you're in those?
What's the question again?
How do you know you're in those spaces? So that would assume we're in them all the time. If we don't know. If we can't put awareness on it, then that means we're in it all the time. And I call that BS. because we're in our patterns all the time.
Mm.
Only when you're aware of it can you work to move away from it. And man, that takes work.
Takes work.
It takes focus. It takes awareness. And you can only be aware of one thing at one time, nothing
Oh.
more. So that is why it has to be one thing. Yet everything, not everything, but other things are running in the background. We just happen to pull them out. Say, oh, that's what that is today. That's what is that in that moment. That's what it is in that second. And then what matters is what you do with it. And that's where that, are you creative structure flowing? The
Ugh.
biggest thing is it flowing or is it stuck?
Mm.
Is it information or is it process? It's like, oh, there's different ways that we need to share.
Mm.
And Pascal, what's that question you were going to go ask your wife again?
I was going to ask, or I'm going to ask, I'll just like, so Ski, it's like, when did you feel love from me? And how did I demonstrate it to you?
Mm.
Sounds like a race question.
Yeah. Yeah, and I'm looking forward to her answer, because I think it'll surprise me. And it will tell me more about her that I could ever imagine.
Thank you.
I want to go back to the word gullible.
Mm.
Because I got told so many times
Mm.
that was gullible. But now that you see where I'm at,
Mm.
I have to thank this part of me that was gullible, that was open to know the truth.
Wow.
Beautiful, Pascal.
Because if I would have been closed off, then I don't believe I would be where I'm at.
Mm.
And I took some wrong turn, you would say, you know.
Mm.
It wasn't like a straight path, but it got me here.
Is it? Mm-hmm.
And I'm very thankful for that.
Accepting all parts.
And I'm still getting this word once in a while, but I laugh about it. Because they're not talking about me. I believe they wish to be where I'm at right now.
Pascal,
Yes,
what would be your answer to that same question?
If they ask
Not-
me,
Not that I need the answer. What I find is that when I go to ask, I better have my answer. If I'm expecting someone to answer.
mm, so before, I would say I wish this to be like some of them. But when I let go, jealousy, that brought me here. So I don't envy anybody. So
I noticed
maybe, yeah, so maybe the question for them as well is no, they don't wish to be like me. And that's totally fine. That was my perspective. But that's not the truth.
So I was thinking about that question, right? It's like, oh, I'm gonna work that question into it. But I noticed that I needed to have my answer. Like, how would I know when I love my wife? Or how do I know when she loves me? That's a better way. How do I know when she loves me?
Mm.
And it's in the look, it's in the smile. And then it just always is followed by a hug or a laugh or a acknowledgement. There it is, acknowledgement. Listening again. As I think, like as we do that, we become a demonstration of it so that we can also share and grow our relationships. So just share with you my ethic is when I ask a question, I work to have my answer.
Yeah, I never
So
thought
thank-
about that. That's awesome. Because if she asks you the question, then are you going to be like, well, same. And that's most likely be yes, right?
A deep question. It's a beautiful question. One I don't ask enough. One I wasn't aware of or observed enough.
Mhm.
The awareness was missing, yes. And from another perspective, maybe nothing was. But within my choices is the only thing I can gauge it against. And no one else can judge or take or know my choices. There's another 6 degrees. Fucking still
Yes.
not ready, still not good enough, but still not settled, but that's the truth of the moment.
Mhm.
But some is cleared.
Yeah. As excited as I want to be about that. Huh, Nikki?
Yeah, I hear that. I hear that. I hear that. Totally.
No, I'm just gauging my excitement. You know, it's like, yeah.
Yeah.
And yeah, sure enough, there's resistance there. It's like, yeah, do I want to deal with it? I don't know.
Mm-hmm. That's it. Yeah, that's it.
But just in the awareness, just by asking the question is a way of dealing with
Yeah.
it. It's a beautiful question I'm going to be sitting in today. Because then if that's what I want, that's what I can choose. That's what I can imagine. That's what I can put in the invisible, you know. And then allowing that to come together in whichever way that the lessons need to. Unconditionally. Just look at the conditions, like, oh, there it is. Oh, there it is. Oh, yeah, no, that's not it. No, that's not it. It's like, why not? Why isn't that it either? Does it only have to be positive? Does it only have to be good for it to exist? I don't know. It shouldn't. Damn, those
Both.
the old structures and the new structures, man. Fuck.
Yeah, there's the conflict.
Why don't you fix it already, Craig?
Oh, I just opened a business. I fix everybody.
Exactly.
You know, it's a friends and family rate. But it's a membership for life.
Oh, that's why love hurts. It means you care. It's a bold
Is
claim.
it
What do
love
you
that
guys say
hurts or
about
the
that?
conditions? Is it love
But you know,
that hurts or is it the conditions that we put on it?
I think it's part of it, you know. That's what I would like. My perspective with it was, I think it's also part of it. So it's like, as a whole, like, they've got to be there. I mean, growth, right? I see that's as growth too, right? And yes, it is the conditions that cause the pain. Conditions or expectations, you can probably substitute all sorts of words in there. Put a wheelhouse on there and spin the wheel, whatever word you want.
that's why I think it's trust. That's why, because love does hurt. It will hurt, and that's why we have to trust. It's inevitable. That's why we're so scared to love, because we're going to feel that we're going to get hurt by this person, because this person is just what it is. It's just going to their own issues, their own unfolding, and you have no control of that. So I think that's where it basically comes down to, is the trust, and the trust in yourself.
Trust in yourself and trusting someone else is completely different.
Completely different. Absolute. There's no that is, yeah.
And then it's doing something to me
Yeah.
versus I'm choosing.
Yeah.
There it is. I'm choosing.
Yeah.
I'm choosing to. Well, that's easy for you, isn't?
yeah, what came to me is, say like in divorce, or you're breaking up with someone, and that person is like, oh, you never done this, you never loved me this way, you never done this in the bedroom, blah 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 blah, nonstop. And then you're like, oh, I didn't know. But the question is like, why don't we ask? Are we scared of the answer? Imagine you live with like a person for like, say, 10 years. You're married for 10 years, and then like you wake up and then like you said, and she'll be like, no, I don't love you anymore. Is that because we're scared of the answer that we don't ask question? Because to me, it's evident, like if we want to improve a relationship, we should try to figure it out, like what the other person wants. So if we want to improve like our sexuality, for example, like ask your partner what does she like? Because she gets to an orgasm.
I don't know, but you went on mute there, Pascal.
Oh. Did you guys hear me a bit?
It dropped you at an orgasm.
No,
Oh, that was almost I dropped our
it was
orgasm.
just getting juicy.
Yeah, it definitely was.
No, but it's like, it's not because you like she had an orgasm that you were doing exactly what you want. Or if you want to improve that sexual life, like, why don't we ask these questions? Why is it so hard? Why is it so taboo? Is it better to learn 5 years later that, oh, we just divorced because we didn't know what the other person wanted? Or it's better to know the truth right away?
That's great, Pascal. It's like a question I can send is, what do you need from me today? One day at a time.
Yeah.
Trust. What do you need from me today to build trust? To demonstrate love.
Yeah, it's building that strong foundation, right?
Mhm. That's great. I'm going to go try that one.
Or even if the other person cannot figure it out, why don't we tell them what we like? Doesn't mean they're going to do everything we like. Obviously not, but we just get in relationship and we don't explore these things deeper, but we expect a relationship to get better.
Morning,
I'm gonna
everybody.
practice this one too.
Morning, Allison.
It's a great question. Nick.
Which one? Remind me.
What is it that you need from me today? Or what is it that you want from me today?
It is.
Or how did I do on this? Or how did I do on that?
It's another great question.
And feedback too, hey? You did this so great. Love is a feedback loop. The more we get, the more we can give.
Morning, Alison.
Morning, Nikki.
Oh, I just
Hi,
love
Alison.
that. I love what you just shared now, because what came up for me is so true. To love, if you want love, you give love. Love is giving. It's like, what can I do to make your life better today? Yeah, I just love that. How can I help you? And then also to remind somebody of what they did do right.
We forget about that so often.
Right? It's like, yeah. Thank you, Alison.
It's all that old ego shit that we carry around with us. And just automatic learnings, you know. It's like we don't know any better. My husband didn't know any better. So I think of the expectations that I had when I got married. And what I have now, they are very, very, very different.
Ask me, will you say the question again, Allison?
The question that Pascal asked was, why do we not ask important questions of each other? Why do we not ask what we need? And why do we not ask our partners what they need? That was Pascal's question. So now there's just another one that came out from that. Why don't we ask them for what we need? And when they can't give it, then that's another conversation. Or if they can't understand because of where they're coming from, then that's another conversation. And it's got to be an inquiry from a place of love, of real love. Of in that moment, not needing anything from the person in that moment. as you said, Jessie, I was listening to live stream about 5 minutes before. I woke up very late this morning. But you said, oh God, why have I lost it now? Just hang on. Let me see if I can. Oh, it's gone. I'll come up with it.
What do you need from me today?
Yeah, no, but it wasn't that one. It was earlier. Let me just see. I'm going to go because I wrote it in the comments. Let me see if I can find it. Choose. Oh, I love this. You make your choice, and then you allow the lessons along the way to exist. So when you do that in a small interaction, like you choosing to ask the question, so then you allow the lessons that are going to come your way from the answer from the other person. And it might hurt like hell. But then you have to choose. This is not personal. This is their experience. I mean, it's so interesting for me. Again, we go to that thing about what we do on a larger scale. We need to bring down to the smallest bite. And that's difficult as a human being. You know, it's as difficult as when I'll go back to sex. You've seen that Pascal brought it up. I mean, if you're aching like hell for that orgasm to take place, and your partner is doing something else and he's aching like hell for that orgasm to take place, you've got to find the gap and be okay with the gap. You've got to hold that surge. That's what I mean, that physical surge that you have at that point. You've got to be able to hold it. And I mean, you don't have to, you can choose not to and walk out. But the learning that you get, as you point out, Jessie, to get the lessons along the way, that learning is so valuable. It's the shortcut. Shit, I've just realized something. Oi. I freaking love it. Jessie, I've mentioned this question before. I don't know if I've mentioned it in the big group, but in our smaller ones during the day, where there's that woman, Byron Katie. I'm sure some of you know of her. She's so divine. And she, when I first started listening to her many years ago, there was a woman that she was working with that was close to losing her life through illness. And Byron Katie said to her, what holds you, what keeps you alive, what gives you joy still? And she said, God. And so then Byron said to her, okay, so if this was the only way that you had to God, would you take it? And this woman, without blinking, said yes. And I remember that obviously so vividly. And I've always wondered, you know, about that. And it speaks to what you are talking about when Jesse, when you said you allow the lessons along the way. And if you can allow them without clinging to the hurt and the anger that the lessons bring, you'll have the hurt and the anger. But if you don't cling to them and you can drop them, then you get tenfold back. And I've only learned that experientially, really deeply this week. And I wish nothing more for people.
Alison,
Yes.
you have summed this whole session in this one, like literally in this one, like mentioning of sharing. Because I could not even articulate. I could not even express it what I was also feeling and going through, and you just dropped it right here. Like, it's giving me complete clarity of what I am experiencing and also shifting, because being here, having to know that I can resonate and I can really say, wow, thank you. Thank you. Because this is everything right here. Very, very powerful. Thank you.
You're welcome. I've been given a lot this week. More than what some people get given in a lifetime. So I'm glad I could be a bit of a conduit. That's good. My word for today was focused action. most of the time when I'm on group in the mornings, I'm in my bedroom and I've got a window where I look out onto the trees. And we're very lucky in our neighborhood. We've really got a lot of trees, and my backyard looks onto other people's backyards. So I have all the trees in the block that I can look out on. And I swear, I think when I sit and look at the trees and talk, it's almost like I get stuff from the trees to talk.
Mm.
There's something about how long they live that just is so amazing to me. I was thinking of you, Nikki, talking about hugging the trees when you go walking sometimes.
Yes, Alison. Love it. I'm just a lover of trees. I just love trees. I just want to be around trees. I just love trees. Especially fruit trees, citrus, lemons, apples, guavas, figs,
Lemon trees.
lemon tree. Oh my God. Oh,
They're so
just love it.
beautiful.
Right? I'm just so grateful to be able to come together, gather, collaborate, and then go on scattering and going on with life, knowing that, where we are, where we want to be. And it's just wonderful. And sharing like this just gives so much clarity and awareness of just saying, wow, I'm not alone. I'm not alone. And it's a beautiful reminder. And also knowing where you come from, and having to ask these tricky questions, the hard questions, because we know deep inside that we have to ask the questions, but we're so scared, fearful.
Yeah.
Because we don't want to hear what, and it's just a question, and like you just said, Alison, it's just a question. It's not to figure it out. It's just a question to ponder and think about it,
Yeah.
And you don't always have to have an answer for everything at that moment. You can wait.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah. I mean, this whole of being at 24/7 for somebody, it's ridiculous. I mean, you can ask somebody, is it possible? And if they say yes, it's great. But if it's no, it's also okay.
Yes. It's really important, I think.
Yeah, because we expect so much. And I just love the fact that I'm going to walk away today with so many of learning, so many things that it's going to really process of knowing that I know I need to address certain things that I have addressed, but I haven't had answer, right? So I've waited for the answer. And so now I also realize that it's come to me, and to realize this beautiful awareness of your presence today that I am so super grateful for, because I can also do something a long time knowing that I have asked. And sometimes people can love you, but it's convenient to not do, and not to act on what I'm wanting or what I'm needing, right? Because we all have needs, right? Because what's the point of having a relationship then, right? It's a give and take, right? And so I understand the condition of this situation that I'm going to be into, but now I can say, that I know that it's not a problem, but I can also say that I know that this person can only give what it can give at the time because of health issues, etc. And I can understand that too. But also in the same time, I also feel that I have needs that I have neglected. Yeah, myself. Does that make sense?
Yes,
'Cause
absolutely.
This is what's come up in the surface of your question. And it's giving me the courage to speak it out now and to say, it's just beautiful. Wow. And this is
It's about it. Sorry, it's about acceptance, right?
Amen. 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 Oh God, amen. Right. Acceptance.
Not always so easy to do, but
No,
again,
that's the thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
When you get there, you can step into it. It's again that thing of that you get so much back. And if there's one, for me, I've often thought about it in terms of my experience with my husband in my marriage. Was if I could have the one thing that I would change, that I think would have changed everything, was not to be as stressed as I was. And with that, if I hadn't been as stressed as I was, I could have stepped back and accepted, but still chosen what it was that I needed, and then spoken to that, exactly what you're saying. And then you see what is possible to come back for you. But you've got to make those choices. And I wasn't empowered enough to make defined choices. I mean, we choose, we're choosing all the time, but I couldn't make them consciously, right?
Yes,
and if you don't make them consciously, then you can't do what Jessie said.
Exactly.
And that applies for everything in our lives, absolutely everything.
Yep. Yes, yes, yes. Wow, so good.
Yeah.
So good. So grateful. So grateful. Thank you.
Well, I am too. Thank you.
I'm so grateful. I know when things are working out for me because I've just made some delicious food now. And I'm eating as I'm eating. I'm listening to these words and they're filling me up. And I get to taste it. And I get to smell it. And I get to enjoy it. It is so good. That's when I know I'm at my, like, I'm in it, like, right now. I'm like, yeah, I'm in the flow. I'm in the flow, baby. Woo! I just love it.
That's great, Nikki.
It is freaking amazing, right? And
Yeah.
I'm not holding back anymore. Like, I'm going to be on this train. I'm going to just, go with the experience and just love on myself and say, like Pascal said, I'm not that person. You're not that person 5, 10, 15 years ago, you know? We learn by experiences. And if we can collaborate and come together like this, this is what it's about, where we can share our hearts and just be real, be vulnerable, but in the same time, ask the questions. Yeah, take the learnings.
Well, I'm going to go and see if I can have my hair cut today.
Yeah, well, have a beautiful haircut. Have a beautiful time.
Thank you. You too, Nikki. Enjoy your
I
food.
love going to the hairdresser. You know that, right? I love going to the hairdresser. It's one of my favorite things in the whole wide world. Oh yeah. And I hope we get to see a picture before and after. If you want to.
Thank you.
I love you, Alison. Hey.
Thank you, Nikki.
I love you. Thank you. God bless.
Bye,
Cheers.
bye, Allison. Have a great day. Bye, all. I'm complete. So
I'm also
thank you all.
complete. Thank you, guys. Thank you, Alison.
Have a
Bye,
great
Love
day.
ya.
everybody.
See you
Love
tomorrow.
you all.
Kisses. Love, love, love.